Hello and welcome to another episode of Goa 365's Story Behind the Story. Now, this panel is made up of all journalists. The media is supposed to be the fourth pillar of democracy in India. This is what is touted by everybody you speak, the politicians speak that, executives, everybody talks about that. But lately we've been seeing little bit of shaking. In a way it has been an advantage because we have like internet and social media, so there has been not difficult to control lots of things, but this time some of the things that have come out very open and blatant. One of these topics today we want to discuss, and the general media atmosphere in the country as a whole, keeping it specifically with this blacklisting of certain journalists by a certain political party in the recent past, so as to say. So with me are very senior journalists, starting with Gurudas Bab Sawad.
Namaskar.
Gurudas Bab, welcome to our show. He's been he's been chief reporter, he's been consulting editor, so many things he will tell you, Gurudas Bab. Second is Ashley Bab Rosario, another senior journalist. I think he was a chief reporter in 90s of the Herald newspaper, and I think probably the only chief reporter in history who was transferred to a more salary to Kanpur. Why chief reporter? Ashley Baba, welcome to our show. And now he is with the Goan. Soirubab Velit, very senior journalist from the Navin Time. Soirubab, welcome to our show. Mahesh Bab Gaonkar, another very senior journalist from Navprabha. Mahesh Bab, welcome to our show. Gurudas Bab, कितें चल्लां आतां लिस्टिंग बी काडटा हेंका उलोवपाचें हेंचे उलोवपाचें. व्हॉट इज द जनरल सिट्युएशन? कितें चल्लां एज एशली वूड से इन आवर डिस्कशन्स मेनी ऑफ अस? गुरुदास बाब,
न्ही सद्याचें कितें चल्लां पळय ताका आमी पत्रकारूच जबाबदार आसात अशें म्हाका स्पश्टपणान सांगपाचें आसा. कारण अशें जालां की आतां की कांय पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज तांकां जे कोण आवडटात रिपोर्टर बी तांकां ते बरें करतात, बाकीच्यांक मातशें पयस दवरतात. आनी आतां जालां कितें की प्रत्येक प्रेस कॉन्फरन्सीक वचूंकच जाय अशी कांय गरज ना. रिपोर्टर नीड नॉट गो टू एनी अटेंड प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स. आनी चडशे पत्रकार गोंयचे जे आहात पळय ते प्रुडंट पळोवन किंवा आनीक खंयचे पळोवन किंवा डिटेल गोवा हे जे न्यूज येता पळय त्यो पळोवनच रिपोर्टींग करतात. त्यामुळे कोणी कोणाक निग्लेक्ट करप, कोणी कोणाक बॉयकॉट करप, कोणी कोणाक ब्लॅक्शन घालप, दीस हॅज नो मिनींग नाव. परंतु एज अ जर्नलिस्ट फ्रिडम ऑफ द प्रेस जर पळयलें जाल्यार हें चुकीचें आसा. अशें पयर एका चॅनलाचेर 2 दीस कितें बंदी घातली गव्हर्मेंटान फॉर पब्लिशींग सम रॉंग न्यूज समथींग. परंतु आनी आमी कितें करपाक जाय पत्रकारांनी, खंयची बातमी छापतना ताजी सत्यता पळय आसता ती आमी चॅक करपाक जाय आनी मागीर छापपाक जाय. आनी हें सगळें कांय घडना आतां. कोणूय बातमी आमचे पळय सोशल मिडिया पळय आहा न्ही तें केन्नाय कितेंय बातमी येता आनी वी फॉरवर्ड इट. म्हाका जर न्यूज आयली म्हाका सारकें सरप्रायझींग बरी इम्पोर्टंट बातमी धाडटा, मागीर कळटा की बातमी घडोवंकूच ना म्हणून. हें जें सगळें घडटा पळय तें पत्रकारांची जे बरोबर आमचें हें ना, म्हणजे ठाम अशी भुमिका नासता आमची. आमी कितें छापतात, कितें हेजें घालतात, ताका लागून हें सगळें घडटा. आनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी जालां कितें आतां, आमचे जे राष्ट्रीय नेते आहात पळय ते नेते अशें वागतात की आमकां प्रसार मेळोवंकच जाय अशी कांय गरज ना. विथआउट मिटींग द प्रेस तांच्यो न्यूज येतात आनी आमी मागीर आमचे मदीं इतली स्पर्धा आसता, कंपिटिशन आसता की आमी खंयच्यान तरी बातमी मेळयतात आनी ते घालतात. आनी हेका लागून हें सगळें जें घडलां पळय आतां तें फ्रिडम ऑफ द प्रेस पळयलें जाल्यार तें सारकें ना. पण ताका जबाबदार आमीच आसा. आमी जर मातशे सगळे पत्रकार एक रावत आनी बाबा ना तुवें जर बॉयकॉट करता सगळ्यांक बॉयकॉट करा, आमी कोणच थंय येवचें ना अशें सांगत. कारण गोंयांत कितें जालें, कांय वेळ आमी थरयताले, गोश्ट थरयता आमी थरयताले आतां वील बॉयकॉट दीस पर्सन म्हणून. पूण काय आतां 1-2 आमचे रिपोर्टर कोण ते फाटल्यान वतात मेळटाले, बातमी छापताले, दुसरे आमकां मेमो येतालो कित्याक काय म्हणून. तशें घडटा. सो म्हाका दिसता की गव्हर्मेंट शूड नॉट गो इन दॅट वे. प्रेस इज अ प्रेस, फोर्थ इस्टेट पिलर आसूं किंवा नासूं, प्रेसाचें जें स्वातंत्र्य आहा, जें म्हत्व आहा तें सांबाळूंक जाय हें म्हाका दिसता.
But this is actually not government. It is the opposition that
Yeah.
have blacklisted this. Actually, what do you feel about this? It's basically you're putting a target on certain, and then it gives freedom to one side, second side, second. Because see, anyway, today it's one government, tomorrow it is another. So many states, people. It gives it's a precedent. What do you think about what has happened?
See, it reminds me of a former, a very senior journalist from Goa. He's no more, Flavian Dias. You know, he had a very fundamental principle of what is wrong with the press in India. Was basically the ownership model for media organizations, where business houses were allowed. Big business houses, call it Birla or whoever, were allowed to get into the media space and create monopolies. You know, so that is the fundamental problem with the media, in which I tend to agree. It is a fundamental problem because finally the media vertical of these big business houses is not their bread and butter. You know, what is their bread and butter is their other core businesses. So to protect that from the government system, they use the media house. So obviously they become subservient to the government in power of the day. And that is what is happening. That is what has festered all these 75 years in India as far as the media is concerned. That is one. Second point is what has happened recently, the blacklist of anchors. You know, now I do not consider these TV news channels, especially at the national level, as a major part of the media per se, because that is more an infotainment kind of a you know, you cannot judge journalism with that standard. Those are shouting matches on television every night, and there's hardly any journalism there. You know, so I mean, the very fact that an opposition alliance, you know, can come up with such a dictum that they will boycott these anchors just goes to prove the value of those channels. No, means for them, we don't care. Tomorrow you boycott, you black us out from your TV channels. We don't care. Which means that the opposition alliance has realized that those TV channels have no reach with the people of India. So they don't bother, because what is ultimately the aim and objective of the opposition alliance? To reach the maximum number of people, right? So the fact that they are themselves not going into these 4 or 5 or 6 channels and a dozen anchors, I mean, they don't mind if these channels blank out the alliance, the opposition alliance. So the very reach and the credibility of these, it's a reflection of the credibility of these 5-6 channels and dozen anchors. So that's basically the problem. You know, everybody thinks that these TV channels are media today. They aren't. You put what is the collective reach of these media channels? Nothing. Compared to the collective reach of traditional media, which is, you know, thousands of news daily newspapers exist in India till today. Especially in the northern region, you have the Hindi and those various small newspapers all over the north and the central India belt. Massive. Go down south, your Malayalam Manorama is among the number 1 largely circulated newspapers today in India. In fact, it is amongst the world's largest circulating Malayalam newspaper. So I know this TV channel, this latest media explosion that has happened over the last 10-15 years of media channels is a facade, is a mirage about the media. It's not really representative of the media in India, and that is exactly why they've had the guts. The opposition alliance has had the guts to boycott these channels and these anchors because it doesn't affect them. Even if they don't, project the opposition alliance on those channels.
Fair enough. Sarva, तू कितें म्हणटा? Is it right? Is it wrong for people to take this step? You agree with Ashley? You don't agree with Ashley? What is this?
No, in certain extent, I agree with Ashley. What he said is correct. But to be frank, फाटले 3-4 वर्साले आम्ही रेग्युलरली नॅशनल न्यूज चॅनल्स बिंग अ जर्नलिस्ट आय स्टॉप म्हणजे
You stopped.
हय म्हणजे हांव
I thought you were
केन्ना
watching.
नो आय स्टॉप वॉचिंग बट फॉर सर्टन रिजन्स ड्युरींग कोवीड टायमाचेर आमी पळय कितें तेन्ना घरा आसताले म्हणजे पळोवप जातालें आनी तेन्ना म्हाका याद आसा की म्हणजे कशे तरेन तें जातालें सोड बट बॅनिंग म्हणजे हे तुका सर्टन
Blacklist.
जर्नलिस्टाक ब्लॅकलिस्ट करप इट्स नॉट अ गुड सायन सी देर आर अ वेज कळ्ळें न्हू बरें आतां जे तुमी आतां एस्टली सांगलां तशें की कांय चॅनल जे आसा पळय तांचे जे ओनर्स आसा पळय दे आर एफिलिएटेड टू सर्टन पार्टीज खुबशे आसा कळ्ळें न्हू सो सी वेन आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हॅज गिवन अ रायट अंडर आर्टिकल 19(1) फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन सो एवरीबडी हॅज रायट टू एक्सप्रेस तुका तू वेदर इट तुका लायक जाता ना दॅट इज द अदर इशू
Immaterial.
हय हय बट banning see when we consider media as a fourth pillar of the democracy it is very wrong on the part of that India alliance म्हाका दिसता there are other ways बरें फाल्यां धरया फाल्यां इंडिया alliance फाल्यां गव्हर्मेंट येयलें in 2024 जाल्यार what will they do
Exactly. That is my point.
कळ्ळें न्हू फाल्यां येवपाक शकता न्हू सी फाल्यां तेंचे ओनरी स्विच सायड स्विच करपाक शकता दे कॅन अफिलिएट विथ द काँग्रेस लेड अलायन्स फायनली एज एसली सेड सी जे बिझनेसमॅन आसा पळय मिडिया एक तांचे खातीर एक कितें सांग तांकां फॉर प्रोटेक्शन पर्पज बाकीची बिझनेस आहा पळय तेंची सिस्टमॅटीक चलता बट सी आतां इवन गोंयान घ्या तूं गोंयान सुद्दां म्हणजे आमी प्रिंट मिडियाचे जर्नलिस्ट प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स येयले ना येयले कांय फरक पडना खूब जाणां बिकॉज आतां लायव्ह जाता सगळे गजाली कळ्ळें न्हू तसो एटेम्प्ट गोंयान 2000 म्हणजे 20-22 वर्सां पयलीं जाल्लो जेन्ना मनोहर पर्रीकार आसतना सर्टन जर्नलिस्टवर म्हणजे तांकां एकठांय घेवन पेपर काडप खूब जाल्लें आय एम नॉट सेयींग की ते रॉंग अशें म्हणना सी जेन्ना पावर आसता पळय तेन्ना त्यो सर्टन गजाली घडटा बट एज फार एज मिडिया फ्रिडम इन कन्सर्न इट्स व्हेरी रॉंग ऑन पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया अलायन्स टू ब्लॅकलिस्ट सर्टन जर्नलिस्ट कळ्ळें न्हू सो मे बी दे आर रनिंग एजेंडा ऑफ दे आर म्हणजे ओनर कितें सांगता पळय ते करता आसतले बट पूण एकएकदां म्हाका एज अ जर्नलिस्ट म्हाकाय वायट दिसता की मणिपुरा सारको इश्यू तेन्ना चलतालो पळय तेन्ना खूब कमी खबरी येताली म्हणजे न्यूज येताले आनी बाकीच्यो गजाल्यो म्हणजे
सगळें इंटरनेटूच बंद आसलें न्ही
हय
2-3 म्हयने
हय हय न्हू जाल्यार सुद्दां त्या इश्यूचेर म्हणजे जेन्ना इंटरनेट जेन्ना हें जातालें तेन्ना न्यूज ते भायर येताले सो म्हणजे एज अ रिडर एज अ कॉमन मॅन म्हणून म्हाकाय दिसता एज अ व्ह्युअर म्हणून की म्हाका सगळे तरेची न्यूज पळोवपाक मेळपाक जाय वाचपाक मेळपाक जाय पूण इन सर्टन एक्सटर्न आयज तें मातशें खूब कमी जालां म्हणजे प्रेज करप रुलींग हें आसा पळय डिस्पेन्सेशन तांकां प्रेज करपा सारके खुबश्यो गजाली घडटा म्हणून घडी हें डिसिजन घेतलें आय डोंट नो हाव इट वील बेनिफीट डॅम म्हणजे इंडिया अलायन्साक इट मे हार्म ऑल्सो कळ्ळें न्हू बट वॉट एवर दे हॅव डन इज आय थिंक व्हेरी रॉंग एज अ जर्नलिस्ट आय फील स्ट्रॉंगली फील इट इज व्हेरी रॉंग
Absolutely, yeah. महेश तुम्ही कितें म्हणटा ऑन दिस इश्यू?
सध्या जे कितें घडलां न्ही ते सावळ बाबान म्हटलें आमी पत्रकारूय जबाबदार आसा हे तेंच्या मताशी हांव सहमत आसा कित्याक आमी जर्नलिस्टांनी आमचे वी आर द फोर्थ पिलर ऑफ द डेमोक्रेसी आनी
Supposed to be the fourth pillar.
अशें म्हणटात
अशें म्हणटा आनी लोकशाही जी आतां पर्यंत जी टिकोवन दवरपाक भारतात पत्रकारितेचो मेजर हात आसा इवन गव्हर्मेंट जे डिसिजन घेता ते तुमचे चुकीचो हो डिसिजन हे सांगपाचो एक माध्यम म्हटल्यार पत्रकारिता आनी इवन बेस्ड ऑन द स्टोरी कोर्टात PIL फायल करून गव्हर्मेंटाक मेजर डिसिजन घेतलेले आसता गव्हर्मेंटान ते रिवर्ट करचे पडटा विच आर अगेन्स्ट द पब्लीक हे सावळ बाबान सांगले ह्या मताशी आमी तेणे म्हटलें की आमी जबाबदार आसा हे बरोबर आसा पण एशली बाबान म्हटलें की सर्टन न्यूज चॅनल विच आर इन हिंदीन ते जे डिबेट बी दाखयता मोस्टली ड्युरींग टी टायम पण हेच डिबेट आसता न्ही दॅट इज ऑल्सो ट्रान्सलेट करून ते न्ही तेलुगू मल्याळम आनी वेगवेगळ्या भाशांनी प्रादेशीक भाशांनी दाखयता आनी तांकां तितके ऑडियन्सूय आसा, इफेक्टीव जाता. कित्याक अशे डिबेट आसता बेस्ड ऑन द करंट इश्यू. आतां तुमी कशे घेता वेगवेगळ्या करंट इश्यूचे डिबेट, तशे ते घेता आनी तेजेर डिस्कशन जाता. आतां बॅन करप हे पत्रकारितेच्या दृश्टीन एक तरेक घातक कशें दिसता. ते डिसिजन जो विरोधकांनी घेतला, मेजर पार्टी इन दॅट ग्रुप इज काँग्रेस. हे जे बॅन केला ते बॅन पळयल्यार म्हाका एमर्जन्सीचो काळ एक याद जाता. एमर्जन्सी 1975 काळात 1-2 वर्सां टील 77 ह्या काळान लागिल्ली. आनी अशें आसलें की सगळ्या प्रसार माध्यमांचेर एक तरेचे रेस्ट्रिक्शन आसले. बातमी प्रसिद्ध करपाक सुद्दां न्ही, यू हॅव टू गेट द एप्रुवल फ्रॉम द गव्हर्मेंट अशें आसलें. आनी हे तेंच्यांनी जो डिसिजन घेतला, मे बी तेंची थिंक टँक आसतली, हे तांकां मारक ठरोंक शकता. कित्याक आफ्टर एमर्जन्सी न्ही विरोधक आसले या रुलींग पार्टी आसली, इंदिरा गांधी वॉज द लिडींग एट दॅट टायम लीडर, सामके सपाटून मार खाल्लेलो तेंच्यांनी, सामके टोटली डेमोलिश जाल्ले आनी ते इलेक्शन हारिल्ले. हो जो एक आतां तेंच्यांनी डिसिजन घेतला आनी आतां ते सद्याच्या स्थितीन विरोधक आसा न्ही ते रुलींग येवपाक लागून कितें तरी धडपड करता आनी हो डिसिजन तांकां मारक ठरोंक शकता. कित्याक लोकां भितर जागृती, वॉट इज बॅड, वॉट इज गूड, ही जागृती प्रसार माध्यमच करता. जर्नलिस्ट इज द मेन लीड करता. आतां हो आरोप दवरपाक तेज्या फाटल्यान वेगवेगळी कारणां आसा. आतांच हालीं रिसेंटली एक महाराष्ट्रान एक व्हिडिओ व्हायरल जाला पळय, तुमकां खबर आसतलो. एक लिडर सांगता, BJP लिडर, नाव रुलींग पार्टी कोण आसा महाराष्ट्रान, BJP आसा. वन लिडर बाय नेम बावनकुळे, तो कितें सांगता तेंच्या दोज हू आर ऑर्गनायझींग, तो सांगता कितें, जे आतां जर्नलिस्ट येतले न्ही तेंची सारकी बरी बडदास्त दवर, जे कोण आयकना न्ही यू प्रिपेर लिस्ट ऑफ देम. म्हणजे तेंचे हे हेतूंतल्यान कितें दिसता की सम पार्टी इज कंट्रोलिंग द मिडिया. हे जे सावळ बाबान म्हटलां हे आनी हांगा हे लिंक सारकें दिसता की वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल. हें अशें जावपाक जायना आनी हें पत्रकारितेक तेच बरोबर न्ही आमच्या लोकशाहीक धोक्याचें आसा. आनी सिनियर जर्नलिस्ट म्हण न्यू कमिंग जर्नलिस्ट हेंच्यांनी हेजेर विचार करपाक जाय आनी ही वस्तुस्थिती बदलपाक आमच्या ऑल इंडिया लेवल कितें तरी युनियन आसतलें हांच्यांनी फुडें सरपाक जाय. खंयच्याय पार्टीक बांदील रावंक जायना. यू जर्नलिस्ट शूड बी ऑलवेज न्यूट्रल. आतां आमच्या गोंयानूच तशें चल्लां. गोंयान अशें धरता की सर्टन ग्रूप आसा पळय दे आर ऑर्गनायझींग, सम ग्रूप इज ऑर्गनायझींग सम प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स, वॉट न्यूज टू बी डन, अशें चल्लां. दीस ऑल हें कितें आसा न्ही हें सगळें बदलपाक जाय. तेन्नाच पत्रकारितेचें जें अस्तित्व आसा तें उरतलें. आनी हें काँग्रेसीन जें केलां हें बिकॉज ऑफ दीस तांकांय दिसता. आतां तुमी पळोवंक गेल्यार जे नॅशनल चॅनल आसा ते सर्टन पार्टीचेच हें करता, उदो करता. ते करिना न्ही जाल्यार दुसरे जे ऑपोजिशन पार्टी आसा तांकां खंय तरी रुलींग पार्टी प्रेशरायज करता. अगेन दे आर फॉलोईंग द सेम ट्रेंड. हें बदलपाक जाय आनी ना बदलना जाल्यार पत्रकारितेचें अस्तित्व धोक्यात आसा. आनी जो बॅन केला तेजेरूय पत्रकार जे सच्चे म्हणजे सारके विश्वासान काम करता न्ही ते तांकां दाखोवन दितले बॅन करप म्हणजे कितें.
I know I'm moderating this, but I also am a journalist, so I have my own 2 bits on this. See, we have all been working for 20, 25, 30 years in journalism.
I am 50 years.
50 years. So when we started, it was very, very tough to write something anti,
Right.
because you would be targeted. I know that when I was in the print media and when I was in 2-3 papers, even agencies, suppose if you write something negative, immediately they would know who wrote, because they would know who. But today it is much tougher, because today if media house does not take the story, there are 101 ways to ensure that the story goes out. I know how tough it was in those days, because we had this thing, we used to take up issues against government, X, Y, Z, whatever. So, and if like even till today, any agitation which goes up, anybody, any issue which goes, first they'll say, "Arey baba, mache patrakarak apoy," because protection for them also. whoever is in opposition, whoever is in trouble. So I feel journalism is one of the reasons why India is where it is today. Whatever it is, there, see, all fingers are not. I think there are different fingers are there. I know, of course, as we grow older in journalism, we become cynical, but but I think we have play a very important part. Now we will discuss this further later, but Saurabh, 50
Yeah.
years. Tell me, what is the change in journalism over the past 50 years? When there were 4 papers, and if the editor didn't want you to publish something, you were dead. And today, if you don't want, you just tweet it like in some other name or
Correct.
social media. What's the difference?
नाही द डिफरन्स इज दॅट इन गोव्यान कितें जाता पळय आमची कोणी एका दिसा आमचो कितें अन्याय केलो कितें केलें आनी कितें केलें आमचो इन्सल्ट केलो वी वर बॉयकॉटिंग द पॉलिटिशियन
Wow.
Today, what has happened? The politicians are boycotting journalists.
No,
Actually,
even those days, Saurabh, even those days, what happened? There were some politicians who had some favorites. They would call only, for example, X, MLA of say of Turkestan.
Yeah.
Ashley and Mahesh were my friends. So त्यांका सांगपाचे आणि त्यांका स्टोरी दिवपाची. Now I am the, suppose if I am the MLA of Kazakhstan, I would call you and Soru.
No.
And only that always happened.
No, what
And
happened?
we always had to face that.
We had one chief minister or some leader. They used to say, he has come, okay, we'll start. They were not waiting for other people.
Yeah.
One or two people, main people have come, no? Say, we'll start.
So
And if they were not there,
because it's your paper. Now the judge-
That I am not
माझी
taking.
पेपर असलो तरी I am not
But I am telling you,
I'm
otherwise,
not anymore. But in those
no,
days, I
if
remember.
those persons were not there, no, they would say, त्यांना चहा दे रहे, biscuit आड रहे.
Ah.
And when they come, okay, we can start now. It was happening. So, but today what has happened is now, की कोणाचे आता इंडियन कितें जालां पळय दीस इंडिया एलायन्स आहा पळय न्ही दे हॅव बॉयकॉटेड द प्रेस they have said we will not come or these anchors are there or these channels will not come. Why this situation has arisen? Because some channels, some anchors, they are acting as
Spokesperson.
Yeah.
Spokesperson.
of some political parties.
Yes, yes.
XYZ
What-
party.
Yeah, XYZ party.
Okay, Saurabh, I'll stop you here. We
Yeah.
we'll just go in for a small break, and
Yeah.
then you will start on this very point because it's very
Yeah.
important for me. This particular point.
Correct.
This
Okay.
has been interesting. Initially, we didn't think we would have more than 25 minutes to discuss, but I think we have a lot because I have not even gone beyond the second point of what I want to discuss. Yeah, so keep watching Goa 365 on this very important point. Not only for the media. See, media on its own is nothing. It is ultimately our bosses are the people, and if the media fails, the people of this country and this state will suffer. Keep watching Goa 365.